This news update is brought to you by
You got an upgrade for Christmas.
If you're feeling lucky, you could win some money.
Upgrade for Christmas.
$200,000 in cash and prizes. With Lime, you could win some money. It's Lime's Christmas lottery. 250 winners this Christmas, oh yeah.
Sign up or upgrade to super fast broadband, Lime TV, e-billing, a data plan. Top up $15. Purchase a handset or text 4263 to enter.
Upgrade for Christmas.
It's Thursday, December 11th, 2014, and this is the Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin this morning with a cry for an end to domestic violence from the father of the woman who was brutally chopped about her body yesterday at Haggett Hall in St. Michael. Leroy Brewster also is praying that his 36-year-old daughter, Marva Ward, who was in critical condition at the QEH last night, would pull through and be back home with her family. Brewster told Barbados Today that the attack on his daughter was a horrible act, adding that it's a total disgrace that a woman can't walk the streets in peace. He said the woman's 11-year-old and 10-year-old children were still struggling to come to grips with the incident and were both counseled at their respective schools. Last night, groups of advocates against domestic violence staged a march and candlelight vigil at Oystins in Christchurch. Among them was Director of the Bureau of Gender Affairs, Patricia Hackett-Codrington, who said violence against women had far-reaching consequences, including impacts on children.
The effect of domestic violence does not just remain within the walls of the home, but has the propensity to be transferred into the school environment, and children try to process and cope with what is happening in their domestic sphere. Some of them, out of hurt, anger, and frustration, react violently when confronted with challenging situations. These violent outbursts are often symptoms of deeper issues which need to be addressed.
As the Barbados economy continues to struggle, the island's bread and butter industry is reporting growth. When she presented her administrative report at the 4th Quarterly General Meeting at the Hilton Hotel yesterday, Executive Vice President of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Sue Springer, announced that, for example, arrivals from the UK so far were almost 9,000 visitors more than for 2012, when the figure was higher than in 2013.
The long-stay arrivals for the month of November showed an increase of 6.3%, with a significant growth in the UK market of some 8.8% and in Germany of 14%. The long-stay arrivals year-to-date to the end of November showed a minimal increase of 0.1% over 2013, which is considered as flat. For the first week of December, and maybe I'm telling tales out of school, so I'll probably get rap knuckles for it, but I like to spread good news. The increase of 71% for the first 5 days in December in Canada, US 15.3 and UK 35.4. I like those.
Springer also revealed that a public-private sector project involving the BHTA and the new Barbados Tourism Product Authority will soon be embarking on an initiative to upgrade properties in the major tourism belt at St. Lawrence Gap.
We have done a full audit. We have actually met with a number of government ministries and entities to try and move this forward. We were hoping to be able to have got a lot of these things done before the beginning of the season. However, we have come across a number of hurdles, and moving forward, Mr. Billy Griffiths, the new CEO for BTMI, and also a member of the BTPA board, has suggested that we should move now together with the BTPA and try and maybe link this as being one of the first projects that the BTPA actually works on. Cecil Miller, the chairman of the BTPA, is here, and we are going to be facilitating the information to the authority so that maybe linking with the public-private sector situation, we could actually make this work.
Meanwhile, Air Canada is forecasting that it will bring more than 130,000 people to Barbados next year, thanks to 3 flights per week from Montreal. President and Chief Executive Officer of the airline, Michael Freisdale, says that's an increase of 23% compared to this year. He is also projecting that the air carrier will bring almost 162,000 Canadians in 2016, an increase of an additional 24%. This year so far, about 105,000 visitors arrived here, an improvement of 7%.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
Welcome back with news from the region that Trinidadians have taken to the streets to protest a bid by Cable and Wireless to buy out Columbus International, which trades as Flow. Spearheading the demonstrations is the Communications and Workers Union led by President Joseph Remy. Remy has called on the chairman of the country's telecommunications authority to show some guts and reject the C&W bid.
Mr. Selby Wilson, for once in your life, display some testicular fortitude and stand up on behalf of nationals of Trinidad and Tobago and reject this obscene corporate prostitution that is taking place between Columbus and Cable and Wireless.
Mr. Ramy believes Cable and Wireless have been using their 49% share of TSCT to drive the company to the ground so that it could be bought up and privatized on the cheap. He says this must not happen. He also wants Tata to reject an application for a third mobile license in this country.
Flow has applied for a third mobile license. Cable and Wireless has applied for a third mobile license among two other competitors, and they have now merged their operations. They have compromised the process.
There's a shortage of beds and bed space at Mandeville Regional Hospital in Jamaica, but the hospital's CEO, Alwyn Miller, says the problem should be resolved in the next week and a half. The CEO was responding to reports of ailing people being turned away over recent days because there were not enough beds and bed space, and of some critically ill patients being accommodated in wheelchairs. Miller says he had no knowledge of people being turned away, but he confirmed that some people were being kept in wheelchairs awaiting availability of beds. And finally, on the international scene, there's been a global fallout from a damning U.S. Senate panel report on the interrogation tactics of the CIA. The report of the tactics during George W. Bush's administration cited such things as mock executions, beatings, rectal rehydration and feeding, and sleep deprivation.
The impact of the torture report spread even as key allies are speaking out.
Torture is wrong. Torture is always wrong.
Afghanistan's new president, Ashraf Ghani, furious at the CIA report, calling it shocking.
This is really painful. The report indicates that some of our countrymen who were tortured have been totally innocent.
Condemnation from around the globe, even as the White House insists making the secret activities public was the right thing to do.
The president did decide that the benefit of releasing this report and taking a significant step to rebuild our moral authority was necessary.
Military and intelligence officials continue monitoring for any violent reaction. The concern, a demonstration could break out, such as those across the Muslim world in 2012 after a U.S. film mocked the Prophet Muhammad. Marines remain on alert, ready to move if U.S. embassies and installations are threatened. Officials insist they are always ready.
And that's our Barbados Today morning news update. We'll be back again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Lime TV to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by
I won for me to me.
For me?
Yes.
You don't need speakers, right?
Upgrade to win every week with Lime. Sign up for Lime TV or broadband or purchase an iPhone 6 or Samsung Note 4. Upgrade Christmas with Lime.